Welcome to my channel, and this is my third video. I'll link up my first video right here, which I talk about setting up my terminal and Claude Code. And since a lot of people don't already have a Claude subscription, I'm going to go through a video today to set up Codex CLI, and you can do this without setting up any new subscription if you already pay for ChatGPT, and it will allow you to do all the same things that you can do with Claude Code. Previously, there was a bigger gap between Claude Code and Codex, but the gap is getting smaller, and for most use cases, they're effectively the same. And it can still be overwhelming to figure out how to set that up outside of just going in the web browser. And so I'm going to walk you through step by step how to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is open Safari. And I'm going to download Codex CLI, which can be hard to find. They've named so many products Codex that it can be confusing of what to use. And so I've already installed it on my machine, but if you're going to install it, you would just copy this link and then paste it here and it will install it for you. And so I'll launch it, and then here you can sign in with ChatGPT, which is the easy way, which most people will sign in with. But let's say you're signing in on a Mac Mini or MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, and you don't want to log into that machine. Or let's say for whatever reason you want to set up a VPS so you can run this in a server and have it in a sandbox. You can also use sign in with device code. And so I'll show you that just so that you know how to set that up, which is a little bit more configuration, but then you can have a lot more control. And also, if you know anybody who has a ChatGPT subscription and aren't using their Codex, you can also set it up so that you can use their Codex CLI with their device code and you wouldn't need to log into their account. So here, before you even do that, on the main device, whether you're using yours or somebody else's, if you chose option 1, you can set it up directly through ChatGPT. I'm already logged in, but I'll log in again. And then from here, you're going to go to settings. You're going to go to security. And at the bottom, you're going to enable device code authorization for Codex. You can set this up on your account, or let's say your girlfriend's account, boyfriend's account, if they're not using their Codex CLI. And then once you set that up, you can then have them generate a device code for you. So I'm going to set up on this machine since I'm already logged in, but you would do this on the device that you're already logged in from. And then that's my email that I'm going to blank out, continue, and then device code, which I'll blank out as well. And then now you are signed in. And then you wait a second, you're now signed in, and you can press enter to continue. And now you'll pretty much be in Codex. And when you first install it and set it up, it's not going to be on this model. And to set it up to be on the highest reasoning model, which I find just reduces any hallucinations or as many hallucinations, and just you set it and forget it, kind of similar to, like, let's say we're setting up Opus in Claude Code. You would type in model, select GPT 5.5, and then click extra high. And then I basically forget it, use it for pretty much everything and anything. And the first thing I'm going to do in the same way that I did with Claude Code is I'm going to set up an alias. So I'm going to basically set up in my ZSHRC so then I can run it in the same way as bypass dangerous permissions. But in Codex, you can shorthand it with YOLO. And so you'll see it adding it there. And in the same way as we did before, let's say we exit this, you're going to do Control C. With Codex, you just do it once and you'll exit it. In Claude Code, you'll do that twice to exit it. And then if I run it without sourcing, you'll see that I'll run into the issue. So I'll paste that in, source it, and then now I'll be able to run Codex. So now that we have this here, we can now use the exact same kind of tool that we set up previously. I'll link a video to the second video I have here, which is using the job board tool called jobclip to search tools on your behalf. So I'm just going to create 2 windows here. I'll set up Codex in both locations, search, for software engineer jobs in San Francisco that specialize in ads. And then in the same way that I had it set it up previously with Claude Code, the skill will automatically detect that you're looking for a job, and it'll use that tool to find that job. So then I'll have another parallel search here, search for data scientist jobs in Los Angeles. And then I can basically parallelize my search and then find that. So as these two Codex sessions are going, just let them cook and they'll find and summarize. And you can basically ask it anything to narrow the scope of whatever job you're looking for. Product manager, Los Angeles, remote, a specific skill or programming language. And I'll show you a little bit more too. Let's exit out of this while we let them cook. With the tool itself, you can kind of see how many companies are here when it was synced, jobs that are active, and then let's say you just wanted to manually look at it. You can then basically run it and you'll see jobs that match that. And then in the same way, you'll see there's like kind of shorthand ways that you can manually look at stuff, search for stuff. Let's say, for example, right now you'll show OpenAI jobs. And so you want to just look at all the OpenAI jobs. Now you'll see location, title, jobs, and let's say I want to show the first job. I can enter that in and I'll see the URL. Let's say I want to apply. I'll click that in and then I'll see the technical program manager compute infrastructure. So you can manually search for jobs much quicker than if you're using the URL, but then you can also use the agents to do that on your behalf and they'll basically do that. You can also make them go faster if you want. It will use more tokens. You can do /fast and that'll be 1.5 times faster. So if you have a lot of tokens to spare, you can accelerate that. Sometimes Codex is really fast and you don't have to worry about this. Other times it's a bit slower. And so here I can kind of click into these roles and then find the specific roles that I want. So here I'll have the ads bidding, machine learning scientists, the Crunchyroll applied scientists, freeform. And then you can ask it to narrow the scope. You can ask them how they can help you summarize your own experience. If it's helpful, I can walk you through some additional use cases. As you see, this one is still cooking. It's finding a lot of jobs. And then as you can see here, it also lets you, let's say, want to just open up this job. It'll open it up into this overview section. Or if you want to open this up and apply, you can click on that and it'll take you to the apply window. And so you can kind of just upload your resume. If it's helpful, I can also walk through how you can use agents to pre-populate all this in. That's kind of advanced functionality and requires more setup. So probably not worth it for most people. They can just manually put this in. And then you can also save it into the local SQLite, which is just a database on your machine that stores all this data. So the sync will sync it on your machine so you can do quick search everything right on your machine. And then here it's doing supplemental searches to get even better results, but it will help accelerate at least what it finds. And then you can do as many more searches as you need based off of that. And so here now it's summarizing ads focused engineering roles. And if you're not happy with any of the results and you want more recent results, you can always ask Codex, you can ask Claude Code to resync the database. It basically just pulls the data from a variety of job boards into your machine so it can quickly filter and scan that. And so here we'll go back and click on this again and it'll take us to the different roles that are available on here. So if you have any questions, drop a comment. Also, if you want to install this and you're interested, put a comment for jobclip. I'll send you how to install it. If there's any other videos that might be interesting, leave a message or note. Happy to walk through that as well. I use Codex for very specific use cases. There's just some things that is harder to use from a user experience perspective than Claude Code. So I'll still prefer Claude Code, and Claude Code is just generally better for any kind of front end or building UIs as well as helping with writing. But I think Codex is closing that gap. And so if you already have a ChatGPT membership and you don't want to spend more on a Claude Code membership, you can set it up with this exact same workflow. But if you already have a Claude Code or don't mind getting Claude Code, here again is a video link so that you can watch the video how to set up Claude Code,